with your May general reading and a few astrological notes on the craziness that we're all feeling these days. In addition to lockdowns, quarantines, and viruses, we also have some major political things going on and some fairly significant dynamics within our families and even deep down inside. We're all transforming and we're all just trying to keep up with the changes. But right now seems to be a time of really clearing out the past and letting things go, moving forward only when we're completely certain. And so we're getting a bit of support from the planets. I'm going to say support as opposed to challenging because, it's all in perspective, right? But May's pretty intense in terms of its alignments and various happenings. So I'm just going to go through my list. It's taken me a few days to put this information together, and I am behind on these reports. As you can see, it's, May the 4th. So, I'm going to just start with May 5th. So that's tomorrow in my world. Who knows when you're going to be reading this, but I'm sure it'll be helpful then as well. May 5th is the big lunar nodes are changing. So for the last 18 months or so, we've been dealing with, 18 months, we've been dealing with Cancer and Capricorn, the Cancer-Capricorn cycle. And so one of the interesting things that I found when I did the research was that when the lunar nodes are in Cancer and Capricorn, it tends to herald important points in history. And ironically enough, just at the tail end of Cancer and Capricorn, the last time that it happened, we were gifted with 9/11. So a couple of months ahead of this switch up, well, I don't need to tell you where we're at. So thankfully, we're going to be moving into the Gemini-Sagittarius cycle of the lunar nodes, which is a much lighter energy. Capricorn and Cancer, these are, the themes around both of those signs. With Cancer, it's very much around family and your intimate, closest home-type relationships with your mother, and so on. In Capricorn, it's about your work-life balance. And Capricorn is very disciplined and not about fun at all. So we're flipping out of that archetype and into the Gemini-Sagittarius one. But before we can truly enjoy those dynamics, like I said, later in the fall, we have Venus going retrograde. So there's purpose in that. And Venus is in retrograde from May 13th until June 25th. But just like Mercury retrograde, we have shadow periods in front and at the tail end. So really we're not clear of this Venus retrograde cycle until about July 29th. This particular Venus retrograde will be very testing to all of our closest relationships, severe in some cases, and that coincides with when Venus is square Neptune. So that happened on May 3rd, so that was yesterday. And it'll be happening again on the 20th, and then again July 27th. So these are points where it brings a lot of tension, and there's a lot of questioning as to what's real and what's imagined. So things also like mental health crises can also occur during these times. And, Venus retrograde only does this once every year and a half to 2 years. So the last time that we went through this, it was in Scorpio in 2018. And that was all about death, rebirth, and transformation. So this time around, in terms of the global aspect of things, the kinds of dynamics that can occur during this time are things like civil war, because freedom of expression, the Gemini aspect of freedom of speech and expression, the themes tend to be pushed way up front. The other thing that's happening is May 16th to the 20th is when our sun is in alignment with Alcyon which is the galactic center. So at this time, for about 4 days, we're going to get blasted with a whole bunch of divine feminine energy, which is great, but it can also bring a bit of chaos. And in the mix with everything else, it's definitely a time to stay alert. Continuing with our theme of Gemini, May 22nd, we have a new moon in Gemini. And this is going to be sort of our, if I were to make any plans to do anything, of course, within reason, within our current circumstances, May 22nd would definitely be the day. It's going to be the day when we're going to be feeling a little lighter and probably a little bit more motivated, maybe not as consumed by the fear energies that have been swirling around us all for the last couple of months. But I do want to also caution you that we are also coming into the eclipse cycles. So June 5th, we're going to be dealing with an eclipse that has some very, very severe aspects to it. So watch out for being impulsive, losing control of your temper, and also there's the danger of war. And if you do live in an area where earthquakes are common, you may want to take extra precautions around the first week of June. So that's about all that I have for now, but I hope you enjoy your readings, and I'll be back with more this month. Thanks again for joining me. Hey there, Cancer. Welcome back to Bon Echo Tarot. This is your May general reading. So let's see what's happening for you this month. Let's see what the cards have to say for Cancer. All right, Cancer. So the hidden surrounding energies that you have for the month of May is the Knight of Wands. So moving forward, quite quickly, just kind of taking a little gander at these cards, and there could be a Leo in your world that is kind of the overarching energy, or this could be a scenario where really all you're focused on is finding you're happy, and you're wanting to make some sort of an offer, and an offer that's really tangible towards something. But the obstacle is that there's some conflict. There are some issues with the people around you. Basically, I think what I can say is that this dynamic of fives in disappointment and grief and feeling on the outside of things, this is very much a predominant theme for all signs. As we all cope with the effect of the lockdown and the quarantine situation that everyone that the collective is experiencing together. So I think that, you've got 4s, you've got 5s. This is very much transition, but it's a bit stuck. So you may want to, you may want to tap into this energy that's around you, because, you don't want to get into this place of staying in the grief feeling on the outside of things. And it may be an illusion, that really everybody around you is just taking their time to figure out their next move. And, you want to get out of this. You don't like the feeling that's happening, and no one can blame you. But it really is important, especially as, your season is right around the corner. So this is going to be a time for quiet contemplation, for meditation, and, allowing all of the grief to actually happen now, with an eye to moving forward. I'm going to get the little cards out and get some clarity on these ones and see if we can get some advice for some of these more challenging cards. So let's start with the center. You're obviously wanting to move towards something in love, but you're very confused because there's so many options. You could have worse problems. You could have no options at all. And it could be the fact that you have so many options that it's very hard to choose. And because nobody's going to really feel like moving forward with anything until the end of the summer, you may find yourself frustrated. But, it's like you will have clarity around, the direction that you need to move in. So the conflict seems to be around a new beginning. And, a new start, kind of overall. And, you're definitely in the enlightenment phase as you contemplate the various options that you have in front of you. So this Page of Cups, yeah, look at that, the sun and the sun. You definitely have a lot to offer someone that would make them happy. So you need to remember that, if this is a case of understanding your worth, maybe you took yourself for granted. And so you were teaching others to do the same. But you really have a lot to offer, the people that you work with, your family, your partner. Let's see. Ooh. It's the truth. It's like, who better than a Cancer to, make everybody feel at home and loved, So, what is it that you've been taking for granted in the past? Yeah, whether you had anything to offer. You've got lots to offer, Cancer, and maybe, you really need to take this opportunity to see your own value, so that you're not needing it reinforced. Yeah, it's like when you're happy with you, then everything around you will be happy. But if you're working at making something happy, working towards happiness, it will, if you're chasing it, it's never going to come. The happiness has to start inside. So you have to ditch these sad feelings and these sad feelings, you know. So let's get to that. I think rest is self-explanatory, but let's really take a look at, you know, the Five of Cups. Yeah, you've kind of, you know, you've lost hope in a lot of different things. But again, these are things that you need to find inside of you so that you'll find it reflected. Yeah, you're focused too much on the pain. But this is the darkest before the dawn, and you know, you've got to allow the energies of the divine to come into you. You know, when you meditate, focus on your crown chakra, you know, and open it up like a lotus and receive, you know, whatever it is you need in order to be able to recognize, so that you can really, you know, see your way towards the kind of love that's really going to nourish you, that's going to, you know, that's going to see who you are, you know, and bring you the kind of security that you need, because it's definitely out there. And if you can let go of the grief, if you can let go of these feelings of being on the outside, if you can see that you are always included, you are always supported, then the right love is going to magnetize to you so quickly and come charging at you. And it could be a Leo. It really could be a Leo. So let's see here. But, you know, I think that, yeah, I think that you're afraid to communicate with this Leo because, you know, you're just kind of sad and you're not really sure what to do about it. And so as you bring this sadness energy towards that, you're not feeling it, and neither are they. So what's the advice for, this is a pattern for you, feeling on the outside, Cancer. And it's come up for healing. So it's time to focus on what it is, that keeps people away from you. You know, what is it that you're doing, you know? Yeah, you're hermiting away, and you're staying in the energies. You're a little stuck, Cancer, just a little. But this is part of your death and rebirth. So, yeah, this is, you know, for the collective, because of so many things shifting all at the same time, because of so many planets in retrograde, we're all being forced to look at how we are our own biggest obstacle to growth. So, let's take a look at what the Oracle of E has to say to end our reading on a light note, or at least a poignant one. It's kind of one or the other with these cards. All right, what do we got? Knock, knock. It's the divine trying to switch shit up on you. So, yeah, you know, knock, knock. People are coming. You're not alone. People are going to reach out. And, you know, like I said, as soon as you can get out of these patterns that make you feel that you are not worthy of love, yeah, because that kind of thinking has got to go. Yet again, another urban renewal. I think Aries got this. So, you know, you could have an Aries in your life as well. So there you go, Cancer. I hope you found this reading helpful. And if you're looking for a personal reading, pop on over to Facebook, Barnacle Tarot, and send me a message. All right, take care.